Yeah, greetings of the day to everyone. And thank you, Dennis, for this opportunity. In a world that constantly talks in notifications and nudges, the simple act of being noticed feels almost revolutionary. These questions are less about technology and more about tenderness, about what it means to be recognized without being reduced. Because sometimes the world personalizes everything for you until someone who truly knows you asks you something so simple. It brings you back into the conversation. So listen for the space between what is tailored for you and what still surprises you. That space is where meaning lives. Consider this a small conversation about belonging, choice, and the strange comfort of being seen, but not boxed. And no, this is not a defend your playlist talk, though your algorithm probably knows your favorite song before you do. But they call it personalization. But maybe it's just our ancient need to feel seen, dressed in modern design. Everywhere we look, the world greets us by name. Our playlists hum in tune with our moods. Our feeds finish our thoughts before we do. Convenient, yes, of course, but quietly uncanny. Because beneath every tailored for you lies a deeper wonder. How much of you still belongs to you? Something to think about. So, as we move forward, we live in an age where technology reads our silence but rarely listens to our soul, where everything is designed to delight us, yet every little dares to understand, very little dares to understand us. So, today, let's slow down and ask a few questions that algorithm can't answer. Questions that aren't about what we like, but who we are, and when no one else is curating us. So, my talk today delves into the psychology behind tailored experiences, why they captivate, connect, and convert. Whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, the power of customization lies in its ability to make people feel truly seen and valued. So, I'll uncover how strategic personalization can elevate brands, deepen human connection, and create lasting impact. Because in a world full of noise, the most powerful message is the one that speaks directly to you. So I'll begin with sharing a personal experience. The other day, I received an email that began with Dear valued customer. I almost laughed, not because it was wrong, but because it was so polite and distant. Moments later, another message popped up. This one used my name, my preferences, even my time zone. It felt warmer, yes, but also oddly calculated, like a machine rehearsing empathy. And I thought, is this what personalization has come to mean? Knowing everything about us except what truly matters. So we've built systems that can recall our data but not our depth. They can predict what we might buy next, but not what might move us next. They can say our names 1,000 times and still not see us once. It reminded me that the truest personalization isn't algorithmic, it's human. It reminded me that it's the friend who notices the reason behind my silence, the barista who remembers the not my order but my mood, the stranger who offers kindness without a data trail, and my mother noticing something in me has shifted, not loudly but deeply. So maybe in this age of a perfect recall, the rarest luxury is to be known imperfectly but authentically. So let's come up to why does hearing our name in conversations or seeing it on a coffee cup instantly grabs our attention? Because our name is the softest echo of identity. It reminds us that we exist. Amid noise and anonymity, our name is a small act of recognition. It's not just ink on a cup or a sound in the air. It's the world whispering, I see you. It's the first sound we learn to respond to, the thread that ties every version of ourselves together. When someone says our name, the world momentarily pauses for us because recognition, even it's in its simplest form, is the most intimate kind of validation. This then makes me think that what personalization is about making things better or making them belong to us. So, personalization rarely aims to be perfect, it aims to connect. It transforms something generic into something intimate. What's better may fade with trends, but what feel like ours stays because belonging always outlasts improvement. So personalization doesn't always make things better, it makes them matter. A cup, a note, a message. They transform when they mirror a fragment of who we are. It's not the perfection of design, but the reflection of identity that makes something feel like home. So here there comes another deep question, which is can personalization ever go too far? When does it become manipulative rather than meaningful? So, yes, when personalization stops listening and starts predicting, when it tells us who we should be instead of asking who we are, when it knows what you will love before you do, and quietly trades your freedom for convenience. True personalization honors choices, manipulation scripts it. The line is crossed the moment empathy is replaced by engineering. So, how do we balance this authenticity with personalization? By remembering that authenticity is not in the details, it is in the intent. Personalization should echo our truth, not edit it. When technology meets tenderness and curation leaves space for spontaneity, balance quietly finds its place. So, by remembering that authenticity begins within, not from what's mirrored back to us, personalization should reflect who we are, not reshape us to fit an algorithm's imagination. The balance lies in using data with empathy, not domination. And so this brings us down to one important thing. If everything in life was tailored perfectly to your preferences, would it make life richer or more predictable? Predictable, perhaps painfully so. Surprise is the texture of living. A life too curated loses its rough edges, and with it, its wonder. So sometimes the beauty lies in what refuses to be designed for us. Because perfection leaves no room for surprise, and surprise is where life breathes. A flawless, tailored world might please us, but it would never move us. So it's the unexpected that teaches us who we are beyond what we prefer. A life flawlessly tailored to our desires might look exquisite, but it would breathe no mystery. And richer lives are rarely predictable ones because wonder requires the unexpected. So, what's the next frontier of personalization? Can business and individuals go beyond names and preferences to create deeply meaningful connections? Well, the next frontier of personalization isn't deeper data, it's deeper humanity. Beyond algorithms and analytics lies the art of emotional resonance, sensing not just what people choose, but what moves them. True personalization won't be about tailoring experiences to us. It will be about awakening something within us when connection becomes less about precision and more about presence, personalization will finally touch the soul. So I'll conclude by saying that personalization began as convenience and slowly became confession. Every click, every choice, a small whisper of who we are or who we hope to be. But perhaps the real question isn't about how well the world knows us. it's whether we still know ourselves beneath the noise of all that mirroring. So we chase algorithm that anticipates desire, but we forget that longing is sacred precisely because it's uncertain. And a life too well predicted leaves no room for discovery. And discovery, after all, is the soul's way of keeping wonder alive. Maybe the future of personalization isn't about technology learning our patterns, but about us remembering our depth, the parts no one and no device can measure, no data can decode. So, like kindness without reason, or laughter that arrives uninvited but right on time, and if ever the world crafts the perfect version of you, pause before you applaud. Because perfection, dressed as intimacy, can be the loneliest costume of all. So stay a little unpredictable, keep a few rough edges unpolished, and that's where the real you hides and where meaning still dares to begin. Because when everything else becomes customized, authenticity will be the last luxury left.